All right, so I'm going to start with what we do know. Our democracy is broken and barely keeping up. Media and society are polarized, further adding to the dysfunction. And I'm not just talking about the US. Democracy is at risk around the world, with about half the world's countries experiencing democratic backslide. And we haven't figured out how to govern social media yet, but now we have a new factor in the mix. The AIs are here, and they're the most powerful tool since the atomic bomb. They can help us, they can hurt us, and we better figure it out quickly before democracy falls apart. It's a lot, but I'm not here to be a doomer. I'm here to tell you about a new idea called plurality that gives me hope, and tell you why I see it as a North Star for the future of democracy and technology. So plurality is an emerging field focused on human cooperation at scale. It's a social movement, a science, tools, technology, mindsets, cultures that help us connect across our differences. Plurality is actually the norm in biology, like healthy ecosystems and even the human body. It's made up of trillions of human, bacterial, and fungal cells all working together, and we can cultivate that in our social systems too. Let me give you an example in terms of governance. We moved from a top-down system to a democracy with a focus on one person per vote. Plurality would help us upgrade our democracy so we can agree more and disagree more productively. Okay, let's look at some examples. You've probably seen this one. It's a bridging tool called Community Notes that helps highlight content that's agreed on by groups of users that typically disagree with each other. So it's basically depolarizing. There's also a platform called Polis that does a similar thing at scale, so a whole society can participate in one conversation that's being driven toward rough consensus. Citizen Assembly is basically the in-person version of that, where you get a representative group of citizens together, get past polarized debate, get deeper into issues, and help craft policy. Here's another example is public goods funding platform Gitcoin. They've helped raise $56 million for things like open source software, scientific research, and public art. They use a system called quadratic funding that helps distribute their matching funds. Instead of it being dollar per dollar, more goes to projects with a lot of small donors as opposed to those with just a few big donors. There are also new voting systems like ranked choice and approval voting that help reduce the spoiler problem and reduce polarization in our elections. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story about Audrey Tong, who got involved in politics in Taiwan in 2014 during their sunflower movement. It was kind of like Occupy over there. And she helped the protesters get organized and broadcast their message. Instead of putting her in jail, the Taiwanese government promoted her, and now she's the digital minister, helping to bring transparency and citizen engagement across the whole country. She helped develop a platform called vTaiwan that incorporates tools like Polis and Talk to the City, so citizens can petition the government directly. About half of all citizens are signed up, and a quarter are active users, which is amazing. And I wonder what it would take for us to get there too. Plurality isn't just about politics. It's about all kinds of things like social identity systems, constructive communication, and even collaborative creation events like Burning Man. The story of plurality is still being written, literally. Audrey and economist Glenn Weil are writing an open source book that you can check out and even join in writing it at plurality.net. Why should you care? I think it's going to take a movement toward plurality to help get our planet-sized society functioning. And that's what we need in order to tackle some of our biggest challenges like global poverty and climate change. That's why I helped start a nonprofit called Plurality Institute. We're a network for academic and industry researchers who are studying plurality from across disciplines. And you can check out our website at plurality.institute, and I hope that you will adopt plurality as your North Star and join us. Thank you.